So speaking of AI and understanding the I love you guys, but we don't want to stay there for about. We'll be there for the rest of the night. Honestly, we could talk about that forever, which I love. But um, speaking of AI and that type of stuff, I mean, we know that AI is obviously making a massive trend towards our modern day economy, our modern day jobs, etc., school, whatever, like we just spoke about. But AI in music is making a big splash. And I know that, if you guys are on TikTok or on any social media at all, you've probably seen some Drake leaks. You've probably seen all types of leaks of AIs of these really famous artists. Question I have for you, the both of y'all, and like I'll answer as well, obviously, but is it beneficial or detrimental to, overall innovation of musical, like legitimate artistry in the industry as we know it now?
So I think there's a timeline to this. So like if you're unaware, if you heard, there's a new AI Drake song featuring The Weeknd, and
Part of my
it's
sleeve.
and it's really good, really well done. Sounds like a Drake song, super catchy, super boppy. One thing that I found interesting about it though is that it might be better than Drake's actual recent single drop that he just put out with the Kim K single. I like the Kim Case. I like Search and Rescue. I thought that was a good drop, but I do think that the AI one might be a little more catchy. But
Oh
back to
no, it
my
definitely is.
yeah. So back to my timeline. I think that we're gonna go through this honeymoon period, which we're in now, or we're starting to enter. I don't think we've really hit the peak of it. It'll, if there's a graph, if you can see me, it starts at the bottom, then it comes up, and it's just gonna be a sharp spike of just things that coming out in different use cases for AI and music. And I think at first it's going to be really cool, but I think over the long term, AI and music is going to be extremely detrimental. Um, I think that what we're going to see take place, in my opinion, is that we're one, if we think that streaming services and um, distributors like BMI being able to make a song and it's cheaper to make a song and just put it out to the world right now has oversaturated the market. Just wait till people are using AI to oversaturate the market and just make a bunch of music. And I think that where I think it could go is it could almost it has the potential to kill the artistry of music. What I think people will not, they might not even be signing record labels. They'll be signing like voice licenses, and
Voice slice, that's what I was gonna
yeah, you'll
say. Yeah,
just have a bunch of people behind a computer screen
bunch of
generating
nerds, fucking
generating a bunch of AI songs, and
yeah,
they'll put it
yeah.
out. And the worst part about it is they might not even tell you that it's AI generated. You might just like they might just pop up and say Drake made a new song, and Drake somewhere in the Bebelos, if you know, then you know. I don't know what to tell you. He's somewhere driving through underground garages, but and they're just putting out Drake music, and we're over here consuming it, thinking Drake did that, and he puts out a tour, and he's about to go perform, and he's over here on the tour bus learning his music from the jump. So for me, I think it's detrimental over the long term. Chad, I don't know, like, what do you think?
I feel like AI can the reason why it was an AI Drake's like replicate the voice and the style. So I think artists could combat this by being creative and changing up their style. Like you got like Tyler Creator. He's mixed up his styles a bunch throughout the years. So like if you tell an AI to make a Tyler Creator song before he changed his style to like the whole like Igor type of deal, it'd be like, oh yeah, it's a Tyler Creator song. And he puts out his new music, like, oh, this is new Tyler. So I feel like the reason why the AI works so well with Drake is because Drake has like one style.
No, quit.
I knew he
Someone
was gonna go.
stop this, man. I knew exactly where he's about to go as soon as he mentioned Drake. But don't you think that at the same time though that like I feel like I don't think that the artist can keep up with the AI. Because if you really
Well,
think
no,
about it, like
Yeah, but
Tyler,
like weren't you saying that the song was being taken down and stuff?
Yeah,
Because at
it's
the end of the day,
No,
the
but
artist
it's
still has
everywhere,
the
dude. It's
rights to.
impossible.
well, there's not that hasn't been figured out yet.
Oh, so yeah, so I think
Yeah,
this
there's nothing he can do about it. Like,
this
there's
could
literally
turn
like,
into just like a legal thing then. So either the
uh,
artists do what you say and be like, okay, it's easier to just produce an AI song and just start making AI music, or the artists start suing and they change the law to be able to license their own voice and their
there's
language.
But
probably
how
not
do
a
you
law.
even?
I guarantee there's not a law behind it right now. I
There's not one.
guarantee
There's
there's
not
not
one.
a.
There's not
There's
one.
not.
But how do
That's
you
why they're
even
having
like?
problems.
There's gonna be so many iterations coming out on a daily. I don't even know how do you like. You can't make.
You
You
can't
can't
stop
even
it.
file that many lawsuits.
Well,
You
no,
can't
there is a
stop it.
law because what's his name? What's his name? Darth Vader. Who's the actor that plays Darth Vader?
He just sold his voice
Yeah,
to
he
yeah.
sold his voice to Disney because artists they can license their likeness and their voice.
Yeah, but they would have to exercise that right. You know, not everyone has their
And if you
voice
don't exercise,
licensed right now. But like your point
exactly.
to Tyler Creator and like Tyler Creator switches up his sound. What I was saying is that I don't think the artist can keep up with the AIs because AI is, we're just seeing the beginning stages. This is like the first generation of the iPhone, how fat and ugly that shit was, and we thought it was cool, but it was nothing compared to what we got in our hands today. Like the AI is gonna be
Hmm.
able to make Drake do country music. He's gonna make fucking
Well,
reggae and go
you got to
everywhere.
remember that he's got so much music. That's why it's so good. Like, that's why when that weekend, I was literally just thinking this as you guys were talking. The weekend Drake snippet, like, or that song, that AI generated song. I think it's a banger. I think it's better than. I think it's better than Search and Rescue. But Drake, you said earlier that Drake sounded like it sounded just like Drake basically. But the weekend didn't sound. It was like a little off, right?
Because Drake has
Drake's
a bigger discography than The Weeknd.
his discography is so deep that AI. That's what AI it takes from internet experiences. Everything it takes all of that information and compiles it to something that makes sense for the current meta or whatever's going on. The
But
Weeknd doesn't have the same discography. He doesn't, and the Weeknd sound is a little bit more unique. It's just how it goes, and it's very hard to replicate. That's
but
cool. So
it's hard to replicate with the first generation of AI. Though. Like the tech is only gonna get better. And the thing
yes,
is,
I mean,
too,
but
is
that's I'm giving that. That's the reasoning.
you're not even gonna need that big library of music because it's gonna eventually be word or even voice to sound. Like people can just sing the song and AI will switch it to Drake's mannerisms and tone and whatnot like that. And you don't even need to have that big library if you just like
That's what I'm just saying for the time
well
being
the
in terms of
time
the
now,
honeymoon
yeah,
period that
correct.
we're
But
I
yeah,
think
and it's
if they
there is
decide
going to be
that's
it's going to become a lot more elaborate and a lot more deep. But in reality, though, if your discography is not deep enough, it will not be as sharp. It just will not. Like there are going to be big artists that have a lot of their stuff made, like Drake, like The Weeknd, like Kanye, like people like presidents, people that speak a lot, that
but
have a lot of content out there that could be replicated.
but
To
here's a
speak to
here's the main point though. Like what I'm really trying to get at is we're only thinking about the artists today. How relevant will they be when AI music becomes so easy to it'll be so easy to generate a hit song. Literally, you don't have to have any musical talent to generate a hit song. So
you need lyricism and beats.
you don't even need to have Drake's voice. Like you could just go in and make an AI song with any voice, with your voice, and it'll go switch it up and make a melody from it in a nice catchy jingle. And
I
what if
think
we
it
don't even
goes to
have like
produce
celebrities anymore? It's just
so, Mike. I got something for you here. I honestly think it's not going to get to that because I think it's a matter of time before a major political scandal happens because of AI generated like something. And once that happens, the government is going to put such a hard stop on public access to AI and deepfakes and stuff like that.
well, that's a problem in itself, though. That's where we start becoming like China, where we don't have free reign to the open internet.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
But I think it's going to happen once a major political scandal happens because of it.
But see, like that becomes so difficult because if you trump AI innovation from the beginning of AI, then all it's going to do if we ban it, there's not going to be other nation states. That innovation is just going to move. And AI innovation is not going to
And we
stop
get put
going because
behind
we banned it. We'll just become behind as a
as
economy,
usual,
as a
as
nation.
usual,
Yeah, we'll become
as
behind
usual.
from it. And what we'll see too, and it's not going to be that the people in America stop doing it. Is there going to be people in America who stop doing it here, and they're going to move out of the United States, keep generating that stuff, and we can fall victim. AI is the future in some way or some capacity. And if you're not like embracing innovation and kind of, because the whole thing about America and our economy is, we let you do free reign until it hits a problem, like you said, and then we start to find ways to regulate it. But they just put
But
a
I
complete
think AI
stop.
processing is going to be the future. I think with AI voice and sound generation, that's all cosmetic, and the government doesn't care about that. Like what you were saying about it'll go somewhere else. Uh, One of the bigger things, like if it's a political scandal, where would they go? Because if it gets that big, I feel like the fucking uh what's it called? The group of countries that are together.
Oh yeah,
United
The United
Nations.
Nations would put a stop to it.
no,
And
but
then
that's
if they go to
so.
what?
Those kind
China,
of things
China's
are
not going to let people do it.
The
those kind
ramifications
of things
behind
are
that are
so
so
hard
deep.
to like get
Yeah, you
everybody on the
can't
same front. It's just
you
like
can't do it.
cryptocurrency. If we were to shut down cryptocurrency, cryptocurrency wouldn't die. It would just be moved in like places like Ecuador, who are embracing it fully and making Bitcoin like a reserve currency and moving it other places. The AI, and I mean, like, we were specifically talking about music and not like political things, but I do think that like at a certain point you're gonna have to let AI do what it does, and if they don't make those regulations soon, there's really not going to be a way you can stop it.
You're not going to be able to limit it. Like there's a thing in America, like it's just like it's the internet of itself. Whenever the internet was created and the dawn of the internet was like super minuscule. Like not a lot of people had it, and it was super slow, and it was just not good. It was just there. It was like, oh my gosh, I can access like other things. But the internet is based off of something that we made. Like let me give you people an understanding. Artificial intelligence, which is what AI stands for, if you didn't know, AI was built by human beings. The system and the processing was built by humans. But the difference between AI and regular computer software and stuff like that, like software in general, is that AI has the ability to adapt to what is in front of it. It's the closest thing to a human being that doesn't have a lungs and a brain. The brain is built in the actual data, like the actual software in of itself. In that, with that same point, the problem is that when we first got the internet, we didn't put regulations behind it. That's why there's that's why there's all this stuff on Reddit and not even like the dark web and stuff that still exists, where people are getting snuffed. Like snuff films are like I've literally seen snuff films. Like it's like casual on this stuff. If they don't put regulations behind it, like there are massive, massive, massive consequences
But that's
if
such
they
a
don't do
gray
it.
area, though. Like,
But that's the thing. You either do it right now and have riots and have people be upset about it now when it hasn't been as evolved as it will be,
did you see
or you wait.
what they proposed when they were trying to cancel TikTok? They basically just threw in a bunch of language in that proposal when they were trying to ban TikTok that basically uh, puts a stop to open source internet, and it would just turn into a more
Yeah.
Chinese way. Like,
And
that's
they
what I'm.
purposely abandoned VPNs
Yeah,
too.
that's what I'm saying. So like, it's like if you do that, we're moving to very like milky waters, and it could get way worse.
Milky,
Huh?
murky.
Let me
Okay.
correct you a little bit
I'm
faster.
I'm
Fuck with
fucking up
you.
a lot of sayings here, but go ahead, Chad.
AI
No, you get it.
is it's not self-learning. It learns what's fed to it. That's the one thing
Yeah,
that they're trying to get towards, which is technically like sentience of it learning, like knowing that it's an AI and saying, "Hey, I lack this information. I will seek to find this information." Right now, it's just someone gives me information and then I fill my data bank with it. So when it becomes
Mhm.
self-learning, that'll be pretty cool. It'll be pretty scary, but it'll be pretty cool.
It's gonna be scary as fuck too at the same time. It's gonna be cool, but it's gonna be fucking scary. Um, but yeah, guys, I mean, like, I think the music industry can thrive. Like, the point I was trying to make earlier, just backing it up to the whole thing about the music industry in general, is that I think it's just going to become the age of producers because it's not even gonna. You're not going to need, like you said, you're not going to need the actual artist. Is if a guy can produce a good beat, guy or gal, sorry, could produce or they could produce a good beat, and can
Won't
have
need to.
decent lyrics.
Won't need to.
Won't even, yeah, I mean, the beat's all that really matters because you can
If
use
you
the.
can type in I want a sad song, and basically all you need is a good ear. Because if you could type in I want a sad song with a slow beat and a catchy melody, and the AI generates a bunch of different variations of that song for you, all you need to be is essentially your own A&R, where you're listening for top hit songs and you are able to choose that song, upload it to DistroKid, and put it out on all streaming services, and then everyone gravitates to that song because it's catchy. And guess what? You're the one who found it. You're the one who uploaded it, so you own the rights to it. So you're really not even going to need to have any musical talent. You're just going to have to know a hit song when you hear one.
How many self-made millionaires do you think are going to be going to come within the next decade because of this, simply just because of AI and the creation of music
Well, I
throughout
mean,
this
the
if they don't
boom
make it?
over the past decade was already insane.
I
Yeah.
honestly have to think about this now that we talked about it. I think it will take a long time for AI to replicate singing on a technical level. I think the reason why it does good with hip hop and rap is because it's mainly
Have you
just
heard Rihanna's?
no.
Rihanna's got some crazy AI songs out there.
Okay.
Like, I'm telling you, brother, if you didn't know some of this stuff was AI, I'm not joking. You would think these
You just
people
gotta
wrote
look
that
up
shit.
AI music,
I
man.
get
It's
it. I
actually
got
pretty
it.
good.
I, this
You
is
got to
where I
look deep
think
into it.
real artists would stick around than AI.
Let's hear it.
I think it'll become a classic car versus an automatic car type of deal, where you get those people who are
Who the
diehard
fuck
like,
drives a regular fucking
yeah,
car from the
you'll get
fucking
those people who
60s?
are
Who
diehard
drives
like,
that?
I'm gonna drive my classic, I'm gonna have my manual car because I like doing the work type of deal, and there's people that appreciate that. So you're gonna have music split into genres of this guy's like, hey, I release these songs with my own voice, no AI needed, and he'll find his group, and they'll be like die hard. Cause the this is might be a little bit of a tangent. The one thing with a business that I realize is that you don't need millions of fans. You need, let's say, 1,000 fans
Yeah, you see a
willing to
strong
spend
community.
$100 over the course of the year, and now you're making six figures.
Yeah.
You just need that tight,
That's all
close
you
knit
need.
core of people.
But
That's if you
here's
build
where
a
it
strong
also gets
community.
tricky is what about that? What if I get up here and say I use my own voice and I don't do AI, love me, and everything I'm doing is AI?
I feel like a scandal would come out. I feel like it would be
Yeah,
easy.
scandals gonna be
Yeah, I
dude.
feel
The
like
Yo,
scandals
but
gonna be
what if I got the
crazy.
machine behind me, bro? If I got fucking Sony music behind me, you think they gonna let that come out? You just saw what happened to Jonathan
Nah,
Majors. He over here choking bitches, and now we ain't heard shit about it.
it can
nah,
go
that
like
shit
a
did
different
disappear.
way
I ain't gonna
because
lie, that disappeared.
I feel like Reddit would take to the internet and be like, okay, let's look up. Oh, yep, we got Mike here. He's living here. Why is his energy bill through the roof? Is he doing some sort of AI processing on the side to go find out? And they'll be like, oh, this dude's a fraud.
But you don't think it can get to a point where it's literally
It will be like that.
like
It
Drake's
will. It
song?
100%
If Drake
will.
put that out and said I did that, and if it wasn't for the weekend, because the weekends was a little botched, but if Drake literally put out a snippet of just his part, there would have been
That should
no
be a
part
banger,
of me that I would have said that it was AI. I would have been like, yeah, that's 100% Drake. And that's a
and that
fucking
shit's gonna be
banger.
heat.
Like, I don't even know if I don't even know if our ears gonna be able to hear the difference eventually. Like, because
We'll become numb to it.
AI just
I think
became
we'll
a big
become
thing.
numb.
Like the whole boom around it became a big thing within the past like year to two. Like we are so early in it, and the advancements in technologies today, like the how quickly it advanced, only improves and gets quicker over time. I feel like it can get really tricky unless they have like there'll probably be software that could tell if like something. But I mean, even then,
Well, they
they
have
did a
software
GPT
now for
four
detecting
on
AI.
the U.S. Constitution, and it said it was 98% done by AI. So I don't know how well that shit's gonna fucking be.
Hey, I'm just playing
I
devil's
mean,
advocate here. The majority of music I listen to is auto-tune, Vocaloid, EDM type of shit.
So it's already AI.
Yeah, it's just like
Just
I'm a strong proponent of every time my girlfriend and I listen to music, she's like, "Oh man, this song sounds like this song." I'm like, "Yeah, I feel like every chord progression, every melody and rhythm combination has been found, and now it's just the person who's doing it. Nothing's unique anymore."
especially when you find, but that's the thing. That's why some of these songs we don't even realize, like even like the smallest little tone, like the low, it could be a lower bass by a notch, and there's songs like, damn, that beat goes crazy, and it's we've heard that beat before, but like I said, the tone is just like dropped out, or the bass is dropped out a notch, and
Yeah.
it rings our ear a bit different, and that's it. Like it's the same thing, but it just a little bit different.
I
And
think it would be like what
let's
Michael was saying, where like music will be less of the artist and more of the producer, the person who's in there
Well, yeah,
looking
that's what I was.
for.
Yeah,
Okay, this AI just generated 100 songs. I'm gonna take the next 8 hours to listen through all of them. Okay, song number 23. That's the hit.
yeah, and then I also like my other point was that I think that the amount of artists that we look at, like we look at artists today, will shrink. Like that will get smaller. There'll be a select handful that we look at.
Really, I think with AI it would grow.
Well, I'm saying that we look at them like we look at artists today. Like oh, Tyler the Creator, oh, Drake. I think that pool will shrink and it'll just be I think your favorite hit will be somebody you've never heard before that made a song in a basement in South Korea.
Oh, so you think concerts will start to die out?
Well, I mean, I think concerts are eventually going to move into metaverse. So like, essentially, you'll be like live streaming, and anyone could like they don't have to be there. But I mean, I think concerts are dying out now. Like concerts are like
yeah.
Concerts are becoming like a premium.
yeah, like
Because of fucking
it's a
population.
privilege. You have to be a big name artist to get a fucking tour going with more than fucking 10 dates. Like, and if you're not a big name artist now, you're pretty much living off the back of festivals. So I
Yep.
mean,
That's
I personally think that it'll just be a bunch of hits coming out, kind of like TikTok. Like these people are blowing up, and I've never heard these people before. And once they get that one hit song, I don't hear from them again.
That's the TikTok dilemma right now. There, I saw someone talking about it as how uh, a lot of music these days are being created for 60 seconds max. So we're getting a lot of incomplete songs and good hooks.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I
So
mean, dude, that's what we've listened for. We were being groomed to be this way when we were kids. Let me back this up without us, like, because we could literally talk about this for an entire podcast. No, we weren't being groomed by someone in particular. We were being groomed by the way that like that we used to listen to radio. Let's all be real. We all used to listen to radio for a period of time. And for my people out there,
97.5.
97.5, 105.1, 102.3 if you're in Greensboro. I think it's 96.9 as well if you're in the Greensboro area. Yeah, cause like I mean, bro,
Hot
like
97.
let's listen. All right, so give it a second here, right? You think back to a lot of the music that came on the radio. It was the reason that those songs, like we are groomed now to only hear like the hook, because the hook is what every generation thinks about is the hook. Everybody remembers the hook, but us specifically is because there have been ass songs, like I mean dog shit songs. Let's just be real. Y'all remember that song? You know who I'm talking about. You know that song. This shit's gonna make you really start to dive back into the arc. Not Hotline Bling. I'm not even talking about hip hop. I'm not even talking about hip hop. Remember the song by Carly Rae Jepsen?
Oh,
Call Me
Friday?
Maybe. No, Call Me Maybe.
Call Me
Not
Maybe.
Friday.
Oh, Oh wait, we just talked to the same person that's not her.
But that too. But those two songs, Friday by Rebecca Black, and then Carly Rae Jepsen and
funny.
her shit Call Me Baby. Think about it. Do you even really remember the words before the hook? Like you probably heard that, and you probably heard those songs probably 40, 50 times at
But that started
minimum.
with our generation of music.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We were trained, and we are the next generation of listeners who can build or who are building up artists at this point as well. That is correct.
We're already out.
Yeah,
we are still.
We're on the back. We're on the back end of the generation. We're the back end. There's a new generation on Earth, yes, but we're still within the generation
But
of
we're not
music
the ones building
that
up
can help
artists.
generate that.
I don't think that our generation's the ones. Well, I'm talking about our like us as in 25-year-olds. Like I know Generation Z is doing it, but like as 25-year-olds, me, you, and Chad are not the ones building up artists today. It's college students and below.
Like I said that I think we are on the backside of it, and I believe that it will literally like is just based off of that. We were groomed that way, and the generation before us is dumber. Or the generation after us, which is Generation Alpha, they're just dumber. I'm sorry, they're just dumber. They don't have their brain cells. Their brains don't like have. They've been numbed. Like the way that they've been genuinely brought up, their brains have not developed the way they should have. Granted, they're probably more
dumber, or are they just more equipped for a different society than we are?
They're equipped for a different society, but I think that there's a lack thereof of not creativity, because they are creative, but a lack thereof of realizing originality, not on their behalf, but in the music industry in particular. So let me not stay on this topic forever, because like I said, we could sit here and talk about this for literally 2 hours, easy, without even blinking. So just to speak on music, because we do love music here, and unless you boys have some final thoughts, I don't want to leave you hanging at all.
Good.